welcome back to my channel. So we are in Fashion and Beauty Fridays. So the topic this week was order, and we talked about God's order on Monday and how we organize and order things within our household. So I wanted to go ahead and expand on those tips and be more specific with fashion and beauty. So let's get into the tips. What I talked about on Wednesday still applies. Don't worry about the mess. It's going to look much messier than it is neat initially. So some of the things that I do is check out some of my other videos, because I had already talked about hangers and all that stuff. So check out my mornings video, I think my transitions video. So those are things that you can look at. But one of the things that I do is pull everything out, organize, and then put things back. So I do that for under my cabinet, for my beauty supplies. I leave some stuff out on the cabinet. For the clothes, we do the same thing. Because if you've lived in a space for anywhere over a month, things can get put behind there, bags, things that you forgot that you had back there, all of that. So pulling everything out to where you can clearly see what you have, and then you are going to have to make that action to put it back in. So in that can sometimes just help with your decision. Like, I don't want to have to put all this stuff back in. So what I do is 4 sections. First section, what am I keeping? Second section, what am I selling? There are tons of places that you can sell products to, resale stores that are really popping up. Third, what am I donating? And I will make a note of this. For me, really examine what you're donating. If it has holes, if it has things that are not things that you just really wouldn't wear, not because like your style has changed or something like that, but because it's really not really any good quality anymore, there are holes in it and all that. And I say that as being someone that has both received donation clothes and also been the giver of donating clothes. Really pay attention to this third and fourth pile. What am I donating? And then the fourth pile is what am I throwing away? If you are choosing to donate something, like I said on Wednesday, in our household, we are mindful of where we're donating it. So we know with our winter coats, we already have an organization that we have for that. Some of that is a quick Google search, or just, in your own church. What is your church known for? Do y'all give, in the fall, do y'all give winter coats? Is there going to be a drive at your kid's school or something like that? So really, who am I going to give it to? And then if it's something that's dirty or something like that, go ahead and wash it. Fold it up neatly. Don't just throw it in a trash bag. Fold it up neatly. And if there is a particular person that you're going to give it to, I would advise you to first ask them. Even if you feel like someone is in need or needful, ask them, because it's really a hard thing to give something and then people not want to receive it. So first ask. And if that's not something that they want to do or receive, then okay. And give it to someone that will actually value it. So once someone says that, oh, I'm okay, because sometimes it may be someone that's not in need, but I see someone maybe a little bit smaller than my daughter. And I'll ask, like, hey, do you mind if, Jada has something that I give it to you? Some people don't mind. Some people take offense and they do mind. So it's something that you're both very clear on, and then you can give from there. When I do give, like I said, go ahead and wash those items, fold them up neatly. And if you can, the Dollar Tree has tons of those like really big gift bags. Instead of just handing like a big trash bag of something, handing someone when you're exchanging it or giving it to them, handing them in gift bags. Some people are in need and they may not want it publicized that you're giving them, like your clothes and stuff like that. So those are just some things. Like, those are not the tip, but it's just something that I've learned over time, and now found that to be like extremely helpful. So once you decide that you have those 4 piles, you have the keep pile. Then the keep pile gets turned into with the 4th pile is the trash pile. So go ahead and just put a trash bin right by your bedside. The reason why I put it on my bed, like I said, is because I want it done in one day, and I want to get in my bed that night. So that really motivates me to get it done. So I talked about on Wednesday, I have a catch-all table, which I still use for my beauty products, because of course I wouldn't want stuff wasting in my bed and stuff. But for my clothing items, I pile it in the bed, and I know that I need to get that done before the end of the day. So once you get to that first pile again, because of course the trash stuff, of course, is going in the trash. Donations, you are putting that in bags. If you're going to sell something, you'll probably put that in a bag and put it in your trunk, so you know whenever you leave, you can take it to that store and try to sell those items. But the first pile is what you're going to keep. So it's easy to go ahead and put divide that pile into what is something that needs to be hung up, and what is something that needs to be folded and put in a dresser or some sort of bin. So that's kind of how I split those two. So now you know what you have, and you know with your dresser space how to go in and sort further. So if you're the type of person that has a ton of shirts, then that'll probably be, if you have a dresser with various sizes, that will take up the biggest drawer. And it just helps you easily see. If you have stuff that needs to be hung up, you are able to really see the amount of hangers that you need, which leads me to tip number 2. So tip number 1 was, don't worry about the mess, because it's gonna look better in the end. But tip number 2 is sameness. It's really appealing to the eye for when you walk into the closet for everything to be neat, order, and in the same alignment. So really think about your hangers. Again, check out my other videos, because I talk more in depth about the different types of hangers. But once you've decided what hanger you're going to use, then go ahead and go with that, and it keeps an even space. It gives you more space in your closet. Because when you buy from different, like let's say you got a wooden hanger, a velvet hanger, all that, their drop on the hook part can be very different. So it can stagger in your closet, and it just looks messy. Even if it is, everything's in order, it just looks messy. So it's good to the eye to have like the same type of hanger. Example of that for my husband, he uses the velvet hangers on the first rack in the room. In our closet, because it is all his shirts, button down shirts and stuff like that. So all of those go in the first rack with the velvet hangers. Then we have a shelf space, and then above that he puts his pants. And we decided to get wooden hanger for those, because you know his pants can tend to be a little heavier or whatever, and we didn't want to have to worry about velvet hangers constantly breaking. So we went with the wooden hangers. So when you go in our closet, you'll see all across the top, it's very organized, and then all across the bottom, it's that sameness. It really helps our eye to know, oh, everything's neat in order, but it also trains your eye to see what's not in place. Having that sameness, the same with organizing to the place of having everything in bins, just making sure everything like lines up, because it lets you know when something again is out of space or out of place. Number 3, when we're talking about seeing stuff, make sure that it's easy for your eye to see what you most use. I talked about as far as my beauty stuff on my sink, I have out the few products, my husband may say more than a few products of things that I know that I'll probably use like on a regular. And then there are things that I'm like, I'm not gonna use, like maybe like an eye eye mask or something like that every day. So all those things and those products go under the cabinet neatly. So the same can be done with your fashion items. Keep everything at eye level that you use. Like if for us, we have a shelf system in between two bars or racks. And what I found is, keeping those shoes that I regularly use, and then the ones that I don't can get stored like on the floor or maybe a little bit higher to where you have easy access to that. And a way to do that is with the bins. Like for us, it's Texas, we don't really need heavy winter coats all the time, so that can get folded really neatly in a bin and placed out of eye level. That's fine, and it doesn't take up the space of items that I would need at the time. Now when we go into winter and I need those coats, I can pull those out of the bin, hang those up, and all my summery dresses and things like that I can fold up. Flip-flops, all of that can get folded up and put in a bin, and then now that can go out of eye level to where now I'm able to see those heavier pieces that I layer on during the colder months. If that makes, I hope that's making sense. So keeping things at eye level. Another thing that you can do with your bins is making sure that the bins are clear. Now, I get that not everybody for their shoes or certain items like clear bins. I'm fine with clear plastic bins, or I know that there's some glass or acrylic and all of that stuff. But some people don't like that. If you have like cloth bins, now they have all kinds of labelers, and some of them already have a window slot to where you can clearly see what's in it, and you can write a simple note, winter coats, and that helps you keep things out of there that don't need to be in there. And then, or you can do shoe bins. Not everybody likes the clear shoe bins, but if you have like a certain print or something that you like, it's simple to take a quick picture. Polaroids can tend to be a little expensive. I know people that take Polaroids of their shoes and put it on the outside of the box to where they can clearly see what the shoes are. Other people I know can have used, you can go to like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, any of those, and their 4x6 prints are really cheap. Also, I think they have like those wallet size prints that like maybe 2x3, and then you can put it, sometimes they come in 2 or 4, so you can put it on all sides of the box. You can clearly see what shoe is in that box if you want to take it to that next level. But making sure that you can clearly see what you have, because again, part of being organized and neat is saving your time and saving your resources. So you want to be able to clearly see stuff, clearly be able to put things in use. So that's my third tip. My fourth tip is to get creative. If you are not a creative person, there's so many places that you can get inspiration, like YouTube, people like me that freely give you information. You can do that as well as hire someone. Like that is something that I do. I'm able to go into my client spaces and help organize their closets and help organize them. So there are tons of people, I am, of course, I love my services. So if you're in the San Antonio area and would like my services, let's connect. Just comment down below and we'll connect. But being able, like Pinterest, going to the Container Store, even if you don't intend to buy from a space, IKEA, going to check out those spaces to see, what would that look like? Will that fit into my budget? Does that fit into my house? That you can get very great tips and inspiration from stores like that. Or if you have a particular store, remember we talked about, if you have a store that you like, go ahead and check out how do they organize their store. Like, what appeals to me about their organization? It may be a color of hanger, it may be a storage bin, it may be particular lighting that they have on an area. All of that can help you organize a space that works for you. Also, Also, not getting so caught up in titles. I'll say that especially for beauty products. Sometimes the price is just a lot. Like, let's say you have beauty products with like brushes and stuff like that. My husband used to laugh at me because I would use my toothbrush to brush my eyebrows, but I've bought so many brushes over the year, and y'all know I love a thick eyebrow, but I bought so many brushes over the year and they just don't work because my hair wants to do whatever it wants to do. Like, some mornings I wake up and they all decide, they're like, we're looking that way, like we're turned that way. So I just found like a toothbrush just works. Like, I saw the other day, people are back into, I guess that's a recycled thing, because we used to do that way, like when I was like in middle school. Baby hairs is a thing again, but I'm like, we used to use toothbrushes and like gel, but now I saw like there is a baby hair brush for like $15. I'm like, who paying $15 for a toothbrush? Like, I'm like, I know that's your purse, but I don't know, that just did something to me. Like, who's spending that much? Like, there's so many different ways you can be creative with your products. If you are into those clear bins, maybe not put a beauty brush organizer. Maybe just look in the hardware store, look places that it may not be meant for that, but if they have that same color that you like and the amount of compartments that you like, and sometimes those items are actually more heavy duty than the items that you would get from a beauty place. So think about that. Also, be creative with your wall space. Like, for us, we have like I said, we have racks that are L shaped in our closet, and we have like 2 levels of racks that go L shaped, and then we have the shelving space, but we have a free wall in our closet. The inside of our door is a free space, so you can use like those shoe organizers to put belts and to put scarves. They have actual scarf organizers and just all kinds of stuff. You can use command hooks. Those are really cheap, and you can put command hooks and then put your hats along there, or items that you really like. There's all different kind of shelving now that you can use. Like, if you are a person that really have like pairs of shoes that could be seen like as artwork or something like that, maybe putting them on a shelf space so now you can see them, but it's now in another space and frees up some more space in your closet. So really thinking about creative displays of products, and like I said, going to stores that you like, they can really inspire you on ways that you can be creative and displaying your garments and your beauty items. So check those things out. I hope my tips really helped you and you enjoyed them and that they're helpful. If you do, like, subscribe, and share. I hope that you saw the other video about transitions from the fall to the winter, and you are from the summer to the fall, and that you are fall ready with your wardrobe and you're nice and cozy like me on today. And I hope to see you on Monday, where I'll have a new topic that we'll go through the week. I love you, God loves you, and have a blessed day, divas. Bye.